It's good flying, huh?
Don't have an off day.
Well, that's for sure.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Dave?
Uncover, please. O God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beauty of this day. We acknowledge your presence with us today as we come together to celebrate Pottstown Veterans Community Day. Our prayer is that you bless this island, the memorials, and the men who will be receiving awards today. May our good work and the good work of these honorees please you and continue to work towards the common goal of peace in our lives, in this community, and in our great nation. Amen. Cover.
I just want to take this opportunity to welcome you on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department and on behalf of the Borough of Pottstown to Veterans Island at Memorial Park. Thank you for coming out this morning. I have to say, this is one of my favorite events of the season. And some folks would say that it's one of my favorite events because I don't really have to do anything except set up some chairs and welcome you all in the morning. But there's another reason why I care about this day. I think we can all agree that life has gotten pretty fast-paced. It just has gotten more and more fast-paced. We all have jobs and families, and we find ourselves blurred between where job starts and stops, and family of anything working from home during the pandemic has taught us that. We're all tired out. We're all stressed out, and we say to ourselves, where's my time? Where's the time for me, right? But we're here to talk about some folks today that have foregone that time, and they've done their service for this country, and they've come home from service and they've said, no, there's still more I have to do. And as fast as life comes at them, they've continued to serve this country, not just through their work in the armed service, but what they've come home to do for the community. And it's very right and fitting that we take some time today and we pause and we say, these are folks that are worthy of honor and we take our time to honor the sacrifices that they've made at home and abroad for us and for this country. That's why this is one of my most favorite events, one of the days of the year, is because we take some time to gather here and we stop what we're doing and we say, these are the folks that are making this country better. And that's what this place is about. Veterans Island is a place to visit these memorials, to stop what we're doing, to take time from whatever it is we thought was the most important part of our day and reflect on the sacrifices that the men and women have made in service of this country. The memorials around this island, we hope will continue to grow so that we can do just honor to the folks that have made this country much better. Thank you for joining me today to do this important work. And thank you to all of the veterans for your service and for your attendance today. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name's Kathy Peretti, and I am the president and founder of the Veterans Island Project. And myself and a lot of other lovely people who've stepped up and helped make this whole project possible to keep this island dedicated to our local veterans. And that's what the organization does. We want to, as Mike Lenhart said, we want to add more memorials, we want to enhance the memorials that are here, and we want to keep this island dedicated to our local veterans. So now we've come to the highlight of the event already, which is the awarding of the Glass Tier Hero Award. Now this award is given to veterans not just because of their service to their country, but when they came home, they decided to be of service to their community, and they've made a difference. Whether small or large, they made a difference. They stepped up to the plate, and that's the people that received this award. So first on the list, we have Patrick McKernan, who will say a few words about our first honoree, Mr. Calvin Brooks. Books.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name, as you said, is Pat McKernan. I'm presently the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps Prawn Seat Detachment 450. Approximately 9 years ago, I became a member of the Prawn Seat Detachment, and at the present time, the Commandant in the Marine Corps of our league was Sergeant Major Cal Brooks. Over the course of, I believe Cal was a Commandant for 14 years, is that correct? 14 in a row. Over the course of the 9 years, I've been associated with Cal on many different affairs. Well, one of the things I saw about Cal is that he's a leader, and he's also a leader and a supporter of all veterans in this area. Cal and his wife Barbara were very instrumental, many hours spending at the Southeast Veterans Center, many hours on their own time, helping veterans of all military branches. Prior to Cal in his prior years, he also served his community as a Philadelphia police officer for 20-some years, a highway patrol also. So not only did he serve veterans, he also served his local community. He was one of our biggest leaders with the Marine Corps League for the Toys for Tots. In fact, every year, him and Barb were up there helping out, sorting the toys, collecting the toys, sending the boxes out, loading the trucks, and so forth and so on. In fact, one year in particular, we claimed about 45,000 toys we collected for the kids. So it is a great honor at this present time to introduce one of my good friends and Sergeant Major, which is one of the top dogs in the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Brooks. If you may come forward, please.
You can present him to your right. I'll have this one.
Sergeant Major Brooks, on behalf of the community here and also our fellow veterans and friends, at this present time, we'd like to present you with the Glass Tier for all the hours of service you have done to the community and also for your fellow veterans. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Do you want to say a few words?
Very few words I'm going to say, other than I'm an adopted person from
into Pottstown. I'm originally from Philadelphia, over by the Philadelphia Zoo area. Went to the Marine Corps when I was 18. Served from 1953 until I retired on 1 January 90. Broken time, active in reserve, but I'm proud to say that I accept this award. I'm very proud to be an American. I'm proud that I'm a Pottstonian, and I'm also proud of my family. Thank you.
Okay, everybody. Next, we have David Bond, who's going to say a word about our next Glass Chair Hero honoree, who is someone I've known since I was a year old. A long time. So, Dave, you want to come up?
Morning. I've known Eddie a long time, both through St. Aloysius Parish and Father Valley Council Knights of Columbus, where we're both members. He's actually transplanted to Pottstown. He's originally from Shamokin, I understand. Just found that out today. Went through St. Al School and St. Pius High School. Okay, right after graduation, he joined the Navy. Went in as a hospital corpsman. Spent some time in South Carolina, Charleston. Then the Marine Corps decided they needed him as a medic out there in Camp Pendleton, California, and he spent like 28 months doing that. When he finally got out of the Navy with an honorable discharge, decided he still wanted to be in the medical field. Went to St. Joe's School of Nursing up there in Reading, Alvernia, I guess, and then he worked like 39 years at Pottstown Memorial Medical Center as a registered nurse, ER, operating room, all kind of different things. He's actually done some counseling in the area with EMTs and a lot of other things. Found time to be a Little League coach, was a safety officer for the Little League. So, as a brother knight and a brother veteran, I'm proud to welcome Ed up.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. I don't know really have the words to properly tell everybody how I feel here today. I want to start off by saying good morning and thank you all for being here, taking time out of your day, not only honoring us three, but also all veterans. So all veterans, I salute you for being here as well today. I stand here before you, a very humbled individual, because I lived my life doing things because they either needed to be done or what I believed needed to be done, not just for any kind of recognition. I loved serving my God and country, serving my family, and serving my community. I'm from a strong military family. My dad and two uncles and a brother-in-law who's here today all served in the Navy. My oldest brother and uncle and my recently deceased brother-in-law, Pete, all served in the Army. My youngest brother, Sean, who's here today, served in the USMC, and my youngest, thank you, and my youngest son also served in the Marine Corps as well. I was only 18, as Mr. Brooks announced, that when we went to join the service, just to go to boot camp, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to serve our country. So in boot camp, you stand there with your shaved head and stripped of dignity. You were drilled to train to be a unified group, and somewhere along the line, this group of misfits were formed into a well-oiled unit, ready to defend our country's freedoms and liberties, knowing wherever you were sent, you knew your brothers always had your back. I've been lucky to achieve the success in my life, and to do so, like boot camp, you have to surround yourself with good and strong people. In 3 weeks, My wife and I are going to celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. She also has been with me through the service, through nursing school, raising 2 sons, and while I worked as a nurse for 39 years in our community. So thank you, Mara. Being a veteran is something I have never taken lightly. I have always been proud of and have never been ashamed of it, and will always continue to honor my flag and our country, this great country of ours. I have one small aside, and if you take note in the little, excuse me, in the little pamphlet that you passed out there was a picture of me when I was, when I came out of the Fleet Marine course with the Marines to be a combat corpsman, if you will. And it's only half of the picture. And the other half is a buddy of mine kneeling down as I am in that picture, named Alfio Caracetto. And the bonds that we develop while you're in the service last a long time. They last forever. And I put this to truth because last year, after 43 years of not seeing him, we reconnected. And it was just amazing. And we have been staying close since then. So it's been a great journey in that respect. I thank God. I thank the group that puts all this together, the dealings that I've had, most especially with Kathy Peretti, Mike Murphy, Frankie Strunk, and all the other people that had something to do with this. And most importantly, my brother Knight, Dave Bone, for bringing this to my attention. God bless you all, and God bless our great country. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So good to see you again.
Ed, my favorite part of the speech, I didn't know I could call Frank Strunk Frankie.
I didn't either. Sorry, don't make it a habit.
Oh, don't worry. Okay, our last glass chair honoree is Charles Doc Doherty, okay? And he is going to be introduced to you by Michael Gminner.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Charlie. Sorry to embarrass you. Just so you know, it's not a skirt, it's a kilt. So, what can we say about Charles? I mean, he's been a lifetime resident of Pottstown, St. Pius graduate. As soon as he graduated from St. Pius High School, he enlisted in the United States Navy in the submarine service, receiving the rank of E6 machinist mate, serving his country with absolute honor. I've had the pleasure of knowing him through the Knights of Columbus for many years. He's been in the Knights of Columbus for over 50 years, I believe. In that time, I could list all the positions that he has occupied, but it's probably easier to list the positions he's never occupied, which are probably none. He's done everything from Grand Knight to Faithful Navigator to Trustee and everything in between. He's spearheaded our veterans program at the Southeast Veterans Center. With the picnic and the barbecue that we were doing down there every year, serving food to the veterans. He's been spearheading Christmas caroling down at the Veterans Center. Just locally here in Pottstown, he spearheads our Thanksgiving drive that puts food on the tables of people who are less fortunate than us, right here in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Also Operation Backpack, if you guys haven't heard of that. He volunteers many hours with them. They provide food to children right here in Pottstown who, without the program, wouldn't have the food that they would need. I've been absolutely an honor to know Charlie. And I would just say that his life has served as a reminder to everyone who has known Charlie and who has met him what service to God, country, and our community should look like in our everyday life. He has served as a mentor and a father figure to many of us, and our community is better for it. Charles Doc Doherty, come on up, sir. On behalf of the Veterans Island Project, the community of Pottstown, your brother Knights, and the veterans community, I present to you this teardrop award.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for your
much.
service, brother.
You want me? You don't want me. to stand.
Do you want me to hold? I'll hold that
Would
for
you
you.
do that,
Sure.
please?
Mhm.
Hold that for a second. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Charlie.
I'm not going to say too much. All my compadres did it for me. I was on submarines, and the conventional submarines, the Bang, they were named after fish. And I wear the hat because I have a lot of items on the hat. It's for our reunion. Every year we go someplace and get along with each other. Yeah, we might have a drink or two, you know, you never can tell. But the Navy's not known for that, though. I mean, no. Church first and then the bars. Well, maybe not in that order all the time. But we have a good time. From the submarines, I got transferred to a minesweeper support ship down in Charleston, Carolina. South Carolina, that was it, you know. And they had two types of music down there. Country and Western. I'm an oldie guy, you know, and they asked me, I said, you know, you guys need some music down here. So they asked me if I could play music because I told them I played music on the submarine a little bit, you know. And they says, okay, what kind of music do you do? And I says, well, any type that you guys want. What kind would you like? Bring it to me, I'll record it, and I'll play it on the ship for you. So, guess what? I never went anywhere. I stayed in my compartment and I taped and taped and taped, and everybody had their type of music. The black guys came over to me and they says, you know, we like some Motown. I says, bring it into me and we'll put it on for you. You'll be channel 8. And that channel 8 it was. And the captain came up to me one day and he says, you know what? I don't have any music. I says, you don't turn to number 1, that's why. You're number 1. So you turn number 1 and you let me know what kind of music you want. And he brought some classical music in. I never heard of that before. But, you know, and the oldies went over big, you know, and I'll tell you what, music soothes the beast. When I got on that ship, you could cut. You could cut. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? You know, I met 3 guys on the one side of the ship. I was walking up, and he says, hey boy, what are you doing on our side of the ship? And I says, you're not talking to me, are you? Yeah, we are. You better get on your side of the ship. I said, you know what? This is my side of the ship. This whole ship is my side. And that side is mine too. So if you want to walk on my side, you can walk on my side too. And I left it like that, and I'll tell you what, after that, we had a happy year because I got out of the Navy, and then I joined the reserves. And then I got out of the reserves because, did you ever think of being a recruiter? A what? What's a recruiter? He's a salesman. He sells for the biggest company in the world, or the second biggest company. The Army's the first biggest company, the Navy's the second. because we have the Marines with us, you know, and we have, oh, yes. If we wouldn't have the Marines, then we would be probably third or fourth, maybe. And after that, things went well. The submarine, or the USS, what do you call it down there? I can't even think of it. No, the ship that I was on, you know, them idiots down there that have wooden boats. What do you have a wooden boat for? Well, in case a mine comes up, they don't bother us too much, you know. So, okay, good. We're going to be the Apollo mission recovery boys for 3 missions. And it was 9, 10, and 11. And the last one we went to, I says, you guys better drop off in California, because we don't want you here. And that's where we ended up. And that's where I'm at right now. I thank you very much. I appreciate the award. And I love you guys. I love America.
There you go, brother.
Next, we have Maria Highland from A Hero's Welcome for a little presentation to our 3 honorees.
Thank you, Kathy.
Sure.
Such noise. Make it short.
There it is.
So thank you for having me today, Kathy and Mike. I appreciate everything that's been done today for our veterans. It's beautiful, and we're blessed with a beautiful day. So on behalf of A Hero's Welcome, this organization was started by our daughter probably 14 years ago now, and I helped her take it over. We welcome home the troops and support our veterans. So I would like to present each of these certificates to our honorees. I'll use Ed as my example. On behalf of A Hero's Welcome and A Grateful Nation, we thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your dedication to the preservation of our freedom. We are pleased to recognize you each as an American hero. Thank you for your service, and it's especially our Commandant Cal Books.
Okay, next up is Representative Joe Cerisi and Representative Tim Hennessy for another little gift for our honorees.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm pleased to join you here for the 7th, I won't say annual, but the 7th Veterans Community Day we've had here in Pottstown. I've enjoyed being part of each of them, thanks to Kathy Peretti and Mike Murphy. They make sure that I know when it's scheduled and make sure that I get here. This is special today, though, because I know each of the awardees. Charles Doherty, we met on a football practice field back in 1961. He was 2 years older than me in high school, and neither of us was a particularly good football player, but we had a lot of fun. And he was a good man then, he was a good man now, and I saw by the picture in the paper, you still have those old glasses you used to wear. And, another good man here is Eddie Combier. I've known Eddie since high school. I knew him through his older brother, who's unfortunately passed away. God bless him. I saw him grow up and go off to serve in the Navy, and he learned a lot of good things, and he put them to use when he came back to America and back to his hometown to serve us. So, when I saw your picture in the paper, I thought, my God, you were so young when you went off. You know? And Pottstown's better for your service for us in our community. And there's another good man here who joins us, Sergeant Major Cal Books. I've known Cal for 20 years, since I've been on the advisory board of the Southeast Veterans Center. Cal's one of those guys that if you need something done, you tell him and it gets done. He's so dependable, so reliable, and he's dedicated so much of his life to the veterans at Southeast Veterans Center. So we thank you for that as well. I'm privileged. I think we're all privileged to know each of you three gentlemen, and I'll leave it at that. It's an honor to be here to attend this ceremony in your behalf, in your honor. Joe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's hard to follow Tim since he knows all of you. But you know what, Tim? I wasn't born when you were playing that, so I don't know. I do like to joke with Tim, being colleagues together, and the three of you who are being honored today really show us what it means for dedication, commitment, and being an American. We don't look at color, we don't look at party, we don't look at anything but the red, white, and blue that we all stand under. And that's the way we all should be. Look, we don't all agree on everything. I often say, how many of us all agree with our spouses in marriage? But we all agree on one thing, that we want to make our community a better place for our families, for our children, for our grandchildren, for our neighbors. And each of you have been a shining example of what it means for commitment, not only to nation, but to community. And you make us proud to be here in Pottstown. I'm proud to represent the Pottstown community with my colleague, Tim Hennessy, and see you as shining examples of what community means and what community should be. Each of you stepped up to serve our country, came back, and then served our community. So for that, Tim and I have, for each of you, a citation proclamation from the 202 members of the House of Representatives that we serve with to honor you for your service to our nation and to our community, and to thank you on behalf of a grateful Commonwealth. And we want to honor you each with that today. So Tim, we want to welcome you. Don't get up, we'll come to you.
That works. Cal, I almost forgot to remark about how spiffy you looked on the front page of the Mercury yesterday. Not bad. I have that problem too.
Okay, next I want to introduce our guest speaker. I want to introduce Sergeant Clyde Hawk. He was a Vietnam veteran. I met Clyde a few years ago when I curated an art exhibit for Art Fusion. It was about stories from our local soldiers, Vietnam vets particularly. I didn't see him for a while after that, but a few years ago I kind of saw him being a guest speaker for a dinner, and I was very happy that he remembered me, and that's where we connected again. Clyde entered the Marines 3 days after graduating high school. He served as a tank commander in Vietnam in 1968 and 69. He's an international award-winning author of 10 books and founder of the Veterans Brotherhood, an organization he founded when he was researching a book that he was writing about veteran suicide. Clyde also produced a documentary on tanks called Tanks, A Century of Dominating the Battlefield. Sergeant Hawk.
Before I begin, can we have everybody that's a veteran stand, please? If you're able. How about a round of applause for all these men and women? We all do a little inter-service rivalry, and that's fine as long as it's kidding. But I believe every man and woman that ever put the uniform on deserves to be honored. In my travels, I come across so many veterans events stemming from Pottstown. Pottstown must be one of the most veteran-oriented small cities in the United States. There's so many veterans organizations that do so much good for veterans and the community. Congratulations to each and every one of you who work so hard to keep our veterans' memories alive and improve our communities. Thank you. One name that continuously, I need notes because my mind wanders. One name that continuously comes up associated with veterans in Pottstown is Kathy Peretti. It seems she has dedicated her life to honoring veterans in this city. Mr. Michael Murphy is another name I come across often. To all of you who do so much to keep memories of our veterans alive, thank you so very much. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Veterans Brotherhood. This is an organization I found because I never wanted anyone else to have to live the life I did when I came home from war. I had traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder, and I never realized it. There was no such thing back then. I felt I didn't fit in anywhere in society. I was alone. I felt like an outcast. Suicide was always on my mind. I felt life is just not worth the effort. The biggest deterrent I had was I felt God put us here for a reason, and it would not be right to cut that reason short. At this point in my life was horrible. And we all know how us Vietnam veterans were looked down upon when we came home. And I felt those whose names are on the wall in D.C., they're the lucky ones. I was more comfortable in the war than I was in my own country. I went to the Veterans Administration, and they humiliated me. I turned to alcohol, and that worked for many years. One day I realized I hated myself, I hated my life, and I needed a drastic change. So I did a change on my own. And probably 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder. But before that time, I thought it was just me, and I hid it from everybody, and I never talked about it until I was diagnosed with it. Then I decided I would come forward with it to help other veterans that have it and are suffering from it. The Veterans Brotherhood has assisted over 500 veterans since our beginning. Most of the men and women helped have families, so their impact is far greater than 500. Many of the veterans that we help are from the Pottstown area. Films for Good and the Veterans Brotherhood have come together to produce a film on post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is such a misunderstood subject, we wanted to bring it to the public's attention. We wanted a mother and father to watch it and kind of understand what their son or daughter is going through. It's called The Journey Home, and it will be available in the Pottstown area soon. And no one's paid in the Veterans Brotherhood, and 99% of all donations go to helping veterans. If you're interested in more information on the Veterans Brotherhood, Mr. Robert Pullen is the vice president, a friend, and he has brochures if you would like more information. With him is his wife, Luann, and next to her is my wife, Deborah. Each of us know a veteran who survived the war, but are definitely not the same. Many suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, and because of their actions are looked down upon. Many do not want to have their disorder known for many reasons and suffer alone with it. Veterans Island is a wonderful place to come and reflect on those who gave so much at such a young age. Men and women, without their sacrifices, we would not be here today. A place where names like Calvin Brooks, Edward Conbeer, and Doc Dougherty are looked upon with honor and dignity. These names of these great men should be remembered for eternity. Thank you all.
I just wanted to show everyone I have two of Clyde's books, and the last one I bought was I'm a Miracle. And I got it on Amazon, and he does explain a lot about what his life was and what he went through. And it's really inspirational. And if you ever think of it, look some of his books up online, okay? I'm so glad this isn't a dress-up affair. All right, next we have Frank Strunk, who is the president of the VVA 565, and Michael Murphy, CW4, retired. And he has a special presentation for two of our biggest supporters this year.
Here, I can help you with that.
Go ahead. I got to pick the microphone up. Many years of being a DJ back in the day, but ready to do this, Frankie?
I'm ready.
Frank.
Frankie, sounds good.
It's all right.
I got you now. Frank, you've been around for a while, 30 years? At least 30 years with the Vietnam Memorial. Isn't that beautiful over there? But this has been a good year, 2022. What do you say, Kathy? Very good. And we have some big contributors out there and all the volunteers. First, let's talk about Home Depot. So I go to Home Depot, pop in there every once in a while, and I ran into one of the managers and I said, yeah, we got a little island over here, Pottstown, we're trying to clean up the Korean War Memorial. So I was talking to Brian, your assistant manager. He says, let me get your name and write you down. I was there just looking around, shopping around. My phone rings. It's Matt, the manager. Hey, I want to talk to you. He said, today's your lucky day. He said, because of COVID, we haven't done it much. Because Home Depot Corporation donates $4,500. So we sat and we talked, and I explained what we were doing out here at the Korean War Memorial. And he says, put an application in, send it to Kathy, we got approved. And with that, that's why the Korean Memorial looks like it does. I mean, so many supplies down here with grass seed, preen, you name it, shovels. We actually really needed that stuff, and we greatly appreciate it. You want to say anything, Frank?
About what? It's Frankie.
Frankie.
I didn't know who I was.
So anyway, Matt, can you come up here from Home Depot? And Lauren. So, and he comes down here, right, with all his managers. He says, hey, we want to help out. So these guys aren't all about money. All the managers, we got all the managers together, came down, we did a working party one day. But thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you very
Laura.
much. Appreciate it.
Say a little bit.
Yes, thank you, Mike. And on behalf of the Home Depot, Team Depot, and the Home Depot Foundation, thank you all for your service. We appreciate it. And Mike, we'll be down to help you out anytime you need us.
Thank you. Thank you.
My turn now? I tell you, give that guy a microphone. He's a... Yeah, I'm Frank Strunk. I am president of Vietnam Veterans here in Pottstown. And 30 years ago, we built that memorial. And it takes a lot of loving, tender care. There was a guy we always went to, Monty's Mulch in Boyertown, Monty.
Every time we'd show up, Monty's favorite comment was, "What the hell do you guys need now?" Well, we need mulch. We need stone. All right, I'll bring it down. We given them emergency call because we had a lot of people here to spread it around. We ran out of mulch. I'll be down. We ran out of stone. I'll be down. This guy showed up. This guy never charges a penny. We had a lot of mulch in 30 years.
Then you want the river rock.
And then we have the river rock. What was it, 11 ton?
10 ton, 11 ton.
11 ton of rock. We ran out of rock, and we had the help here. We called him up. Monty comes down with a truckload of river rock. So, that's saying this guy is part of the memorial. No doubt about it. I didn't put his name on the memorial, but I did put his name on a plaque. And we appreciate what you've done for us, Monty. So would you please come up and accept this plaque? Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you.
And his wife, Charlie, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you for all the service.
I'd just like to say thank you to all of you who have served this country, and it's our privilege to, we're just so lucky to be able to work with you guys. It's our privilege to do whatever it is that you need from us, and you know you can always call on us, because there isn't anything that we could ever do that would ever equal what you all have done for us as veterans. God bless you, and God bless the USA.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Next on the program, I want to introduce Peggy Lee Clark. She's the Executive Director of PAID, Pottstown Area Economic Development. And this year we have formed the beginnings of a relationship with them, and I'd like her to come up and speak to you a little bit about what she has to offer for the Veterans Island.
Thank you, Kathy. It's really my honor to be here today, and thank you to the veterans for their service, and thank you to the families that support those veterans. So it's really an amazing place here. Don't tell everybody, but I have the best job in Pottstown because I get to come to beautiful places like this and really see what they have to offer and how they are part of the economic cog that is Pottstown. We have a lot to offer here. There are so many great assets, and this is one of those great assets. So I want to tell you a little bit about Pottstown Economic Development and how we got here. So we are the lead economic development organization for the borough of Pottstown. All 5.5 miles is my box that I talk about, so I'm actually within the borough. And we are a 501c3 that is charged with implementing an overall strategy that stimulates investment here, which maintains and enhances the tax base. It creates jobs, helps restore, reuse, or remove underutilized buildings. Through all the great and hard work of many, we have the great privilege of telling Pottstown's story, and we do that by highlighting the assets within the borough. This is a wonderful asset. I've had the privilege of walking this park within the last 6 months 3 times, and every time I come, I discover something more beautiful about it and realize how much of an economic driver this can be in the future. As we look to creating awareness, that's really important. We have so many well-kept secrets here in Pottstown, and we need to tell that story better. We believe in setting a vision and then finding the funding that we can make things even better and share with the rest of the world. There is a wonderful vision here for this island. The Tourism and Recreation District, which this is a part of, we refer to it as the Trek District. It includes Memorial Park's 45 acres. It includes a skate park, a splash park, a bridge to this park once it gets fixed. It's gonna get fixed, right, Mike? All right. It also encompasses the Colebrookdale Railroad, the Carousel, the Manatawny Mini Golf, the historic Pottsgrove Manor, and it continues on to Manatawny Street through what will be the community college's new green space, all the way down to the riverfront to the park's 41 acres. The Pottstown Trek District is really an impressive place. It has come a long way, and it continues to become more and more appealing. PAID does understand that this is important. Tourism is important to Pottstown, just like other traditional jobs that we see are important. Veterans Island plays an integral part of this Trek District. It is a place to come honor those who have sacrificed so much. All the great work that has been done here already, we want to share and be committed to that, to make sure that you get the funding, that it continues to be taken care of, and it continues to grow. It continues to be an important part of Pottstown's story, so that visitors from outside of Pottstown, throughout the Tri-County region, the state, and the country know what a special place it is, and they can come here as a destination for respectful reflection. These 3,200 bricks, the statues, the memorials, the foundation is here. It will be wonderful to build upon that, adding a walking path flanked with poles of banners that recognize the service of anybody that's from Pottstown. Moving statues from other parts of the borough to bring them here. Enhancing what is always already here to again create that true destination for people from all over to visit, to honor our servicemen and women, and to pay their respects. I want to thank Kathy for being willing to open herself up to these suggestions and to be a great partner. She comes to every meeting, and she's always a good champion to telling us what is going on here within Veterans Island. Frank, Mike, you are not to be denied at anything you do. So thank you for your commitment to Veterans Island. I'm really excited about this place. Thank you all for being a part of this great Pottstown story.
Okay, next, I want to introduce Pottstown's Mayor, Stephanie Hendrick, and has Representative Joe Cerisi and Tim Hennessy to come up. We have a thank you to all the veterans here from the community.
Thank you, Kathy.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning. On behalf of the Borough of Pottstown, I want to thank all the veterans here for your sacrifice and for protecting us and for defending our rights. In a country where we can no longer take our freedoms for granted, we're indebted to you for your courage and relentless determination in fighting to protect the ideals of our democracy. You are truly all an inspiration, and I thank you, and God bless.
Anyone who is a veteran in the audience, if you could just stand, please. We know he's a veteran. You may be seated. Next, I have Mayor Stephanie Hendrick again. And this year is an exciting year for Veterans Island because we are officially dedicating it as the Veterans Island at Memorial Park. And here to do the dedication is Mayor Hendrick.
You're getting it.
Before I dedicate this, I want to give a big thanks to Kathy Peretti and her team, Mike Murphy and Frankie Strunk. Without these three and their vision and their hard work and dedication over the past 7+ years, this would not have been possible. All right. Kathy, are you going to do the honors? All right. Are you ready? And now, by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, it gives me great pleasure to officially dedicate Veterans Island at Memorial Park.
And thank you, Kathy, for twisting my arm 7 years ago. But it came together.
I didn't twist it. I didn't twist it very hard. So, okay, we come to the end. And so we will have Deacon David Kupsak give the benediction.
Please stand. Uncover. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this opportunity to come together today. We thank you for the wonderful and inspiring words spoken today. We are especially grateful for those who have made this occasion possible. We pray that you will be with each of us as we depart from this place. Go with us and keep us safe until we meet again. And as we leave, we ask for your blessing on all of us gathered here. Amen.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.